Hey y'all, welcome back to the Southern Cottage. Today we're skipping completely over Halloween and Thanksgiving and going directly to Christmas. I have a friend who posted a link on Facebook of a wreath that she wanted. I clicked on the link and the price was way low, and the reviews were also way low. I looked it up on Amazon and they were selling for like $30, and there is no way. If you go down in the reviews, you can see why. I'm going to insert a picture of what was advertised and then what they actually received so you can kind of get an idea of what we're working with. Anyway, let's get into this wreath. Let's get them done. Okay, here is the infamous redtruck. This is a wall decor piece from Hobby Lobby. I actually ordered it online. I think it was regularly $29.90 or $21.99, and I got it 40% off. The grapevine wreath came from Walmart. This redtruck ribbon came from Sam's last year, but it's the exact ribbon in the picture. And then some red and black buffalo check that in the end I don't use. Anyway, lots and lots of Christmas florals. I am taking off all my price tags and putting them over to the side for every piece that I use in this wreath. That's the only way I know how to keep track of how much I have in a project. Everybody talks about and asks questions about how do you price your stuff. Well, for the most part, I add everything together that I've spent on that item, and then I multiply it times 3. So you have a third going to the cost of goods, you have a third going to pay you for your time, and you have a third going back into the business. That is how I price my stuff. All right, I am kind of figuring out where I want the truck on this wreath, and I'm taking some floral tape and placing it at the back and the front of the truck so I know not to place any greenery there. This floral tape does not damage the wreath, and it comes off really easily. The actual inspiration wreath kind of has the truck on the bottom right and the bow on the top left, and I'm trying to keep that in mind as I put this together. I'm not trying to copy it exactly. I do not have the same florals or the greenery as was used in the picture, so I'm using what I have and things that I purchased, and it's going to have the same look without being exactly the same. Y'all, this thing turns out awesome. I cannot wait for you to see the end. Alright, I'm starting out with the biggest picks. I love this, I call it spiky pine. I grew up in the piney woods in East Texas, and every time I go back, my nose gets stuffy. Because I've been away for a while and I'm allergic to it. Anyway, cutting out those price tags. Do you see the yellow-handled snips over there on the side? Those are 10 snips, and I confiscated those from my husband and told him that he needed to buy himself another pair because I was keeping those. They are perfect for cutting the wire stems on your greenery and your florals. And the stem on this is very, very thick, and it cuts right through them. They're perfect. I actually fluffed them out and then I squeezed them all back together. Y'all don't do that. Just wait till you get it in there and then fluff it out. Since that is my base, I'm kind of getting an idea of where exactly I want to place them. I have a bunch of other florals here from Walmart and just a couple, I think, from the Dollar Tree. See how it snapped that wire? It takes a little bit of oomph, but it cuts right through them. Anyway, most of the picks I'm using whole. Some of them I'm pulling apart and only using the pieces that I actually want. Because we all know some of the stuff from the Dollar Tree doesn't look, well, it doesn't look quite perfect. So we're going to pull off the pieces that we need. I am using a glue pot that wasn't quite ready to use yet. I love my glue pot specifically for this purpose. You just dip it into the glue and slide it directly into the grapevine wreath. I believe I got this glue pot at Walmart or Hobby Lobby, one of those two. Y'all excuse me, clearing my throat. The weather has kind of messed with me a little bit. Okay. Sorry, y'all. I had to stop a minute so y'all didn't hear me choking to death. Anyway, the glue pot. I got that at Walmart or Hobby Lobby. I do not remember. And it actually has a slot to put the mini glue sticks in to melt down to fill the pot. And you're also able to buy a bag of just pieces of glue that you can just put in there to melt down. And I've got both of those. But I have a Surebonder glue gun that's not supposed to drip, and it does. It just drips and drips and drips. And I used to just, once the glue dried, I would trash it. And then I got to thinking, I could just put that in my glue pot and use it in there. So now I save it after every time I use my glue gun. I let it dry and put it in a little mason jar and use that to fill up my glue pot. So there you go. Save you some money. Alright, again, you're just dipping in the glue pot and sticking it directly into the grapevine wreath. And of course, fluffing it out again. So I'm going to put on some music and just let you watch me place everything. It's all the same. Dip it and stick it. Okay, now it's time to put the truck on. Now all I have to do is go right in between my floral tape and know exactly where it's supposed to go. I'm using green paddle wire. The back of this actually has some, oh, I forgot what they're called. You'll see them in a minute. The hooks on the back. They have a name. I don't remember what it is. But I'm just running the wire through that and tying it on really tight, giving it a few twists, and putting it in both sides. And then I'm just going to, I should have flipped it over to tie it on, but I didn't. You'll see in just a second. So I ended up sliding it towards me to the edge of the table and twisting it on at the end. So yeah, you can't see what I'm doing. And then after I do this, I flip it over. Should have done that to begin with. I'm cutting off my excess, and I'm going to tuck the end of that wire right back into the wreath so it's not sticking out and it won't damage a door or a wall or wherever my client decides to hang it. And there's actually a piece that's holding on the bumper in the front to kind of stabilize it, so I decided to go ahead and run some wire through there and attach that as well to give it a little bit of extra stability. And y'all, I still have this sped up, so yeah, tucking the wires back in. I don't normally work this fast, I'm just saying. Cut that tape off, and it is ready for the bow. Now let me tell y'all about the bow. You see all that junk over there on the left hand side of the screen? That is the first 3 bows that I made. Let me tell you what I'm doing right here. This is a Pro Bow the Hand is what it's called. This is the big one, and it comes with pegs that you can actually make tree topper size bows on this one. I got the really big one. So basically all you do is attach a wire to that center peg to tie everything together when you're done, and you just wrap the ribbon around it. This is not the video for you if you're trying to figure out how to make a bow on the Pro Bow, because I'm still learning. I've had it for over a year and I'm still learning how to use it correctly. So yeah, but the first 3 bows I used my Bow Dobra, my easy bow maker, and then I tried it by hand, and then I tried the Pro Bow using that red and black buffalo check that I showed you in the beginning, and it's not wired. It didn't look good at all. So yeah, I wasted a lot of ribbon on that. I'll still use it. I've got it over here in a bucket. I'll come back to it later. So I just decided to get my 2.5 inch wired red and black buffalo check, and I just doubled up these ribbons, and this one went so fast and the bow turned out so perfect. I'm just trying to figure out why I didn't use this like this to begin with. Alright, I'm just cutting off the excess, and my tails ended up being on the wrong side. So I'm going to tie it off, and after I tie it off, I'm going to move the tail on the other side so I can add my longer tails. Y'all, my audio is going to be messed up because my iPad is running out of power. It stopped my audio recording in the middle of this. Anyway, you see me right there tying it off with that wire. This Pro Bow is an awesome tool to have. Absolutely awesome. Alright, I'm tying it off really tight, and then I'm going to move that tail over to the right. And then I'm going to add the other tails and then tie it off again. Once you get everything tied off, you just remove the pegs and your bow comes loose. Okay, I'm going to move this out of the way so that I can fluff my bow. Now I have 2 different ribbons on here. I'm going to take and alternate which way I pull them out and fluff them. So I'll do a buffalo check on the top, and then I'll do a truck on the top. Do the same thing on the other side. Just separating out all the ribbons, and I'm actually going to leave the center loop together. It looks really, really cute on the bow, on the wreath. And so you have the buffalo check still on the inside of that. Looks really, really good. Alright, let's get it attached to this wreath. I'm just attaching it with the same green paddle wire that I actually tied the bow with. Tie it really tight on the back, cut off the excess, and tuck it in. And then you'll see me come back with little dots of hot glue just to get it covered up. I just kind of want to put a little bit more protection on over the wire to make sure that it doesn't damage anything. And then I'm going to realize that these are way too long. There's way too many, and I need to cut some off. Alright, now's about the time where I realize that I have way too many streamers. And I'm going to go in and cut off the right ones. I almost cut off the wrong pieces. So I'm cutting them way shorter, and I V-cut the red and black buffalo check, and I'm just cutting the truck ribbon at an angle. Because I don't like it when you just like chop right through the middle of a truck, or the middle of a print on the ribbon. So that way you end, you know, in a good spot. So now I'm cutting this off, and you'll see in the end I cut off the top pieces as well. So there you go, guys. I am super proud of this wreath. The second one turned out just as beautiful. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so, and I will talk to y'all soon.